What if I told you that one of the most powerful business empires in American history was built by a woman who was told her idea was stupid? A woman who was laughed out of boardrooms. A woman who survived cancer, got sued, nearly went to prison, and still built a billion-dollar legacy that outlived every single person who doubted her. Her name was Ruth Handler. And if you've ever held a Barbie doll, worn a prosthetic breast, or believed that a woman's idea deserves to be taken seriously, then you owe something to this woman. This is her empire story. Let's get into it. WHO was Ruth Handler? Ruth Mosko was born in 1916 in Denver, Colorado, the youngest of 10 kids to Polish Jewish immigrant parents. Life wasn't glamorous. It wasn't easy. But Ruth had something most people in her neighborhood didn't: ambition that refused to stay quiet. She married her high school sweetheart, Elliot Handler, in 1938. Together, they moved to California chasing a dream with almost nothing in their pockets. Elliot was a creative guy. He loved making things. Ruth? She was the businesswoman. She was the one who looked at an idea and asked, "How do we sell this?" In 1945, Ruth and Elliot co-founded a little toy company with their friend Harold Matson. They called it Mattel, a mashup of Matt and Elliot. And from a garage in Los Angeles, they started selling picture frames, then dollhouse furniture made from the scraps. Nobody predicted what was coming next. The idea everyone rejected. Here's where it gets interesting. In the early 1950s, Ruth noticed something about her daughter Barbara. Every time Barbara played with paper dolls, she didn't pretend they were babies. She gave them adult roles. She made them teachers, nurses, doctors, career women. Ruth had an epiphany. What if there was a doll that looked like a grown woman? A doll that let little girls imagine their future, not just play house? She pitched the idea to Mattel's all-male board of directors. They laughed at her. The executives said nobody wanted a doll with a figure like that. It was too adult. Parents wouldn't buy it. It would never sell. But Ruth didn't walk away. She went to the 1959 American International Toy Fair in New York and unveiled a doll in a black and white swimsuit. Her name? Barbie, named after her daughter. The buyers were skeptical. But Ruth had already pre-sold 351,000 units in the first year. $351,000 worth of dolls in year one. And by the end of the decade, Barbie wasn't just a toy, she was a cultural phenomenon. The lesson here? When gatekeepers say no, your job isn't to convince them. Your job is to find another door. Ruth didn't beg for permission. She went directly to the market and let the results do the talking. Scaling an empire through innovation. Now here's what separates the dreamers from the builders. Ruth didn't just create Barbie and coast. She kept pushing. In 1961, she launched Ken, named after her son. She gave Barbie a career as an astronaut in 1965, 4 years before a man walked on the moon. She made Barbie a doctor, a presidential candidate, a CEO. But the real genius move? TV advertising. In 1955, Mattel became the first toy company to advertise directly to children on television, sponsoring the Mickey Mouse Club. That was revolutionary. Before this, toy companies marketed to parents. Ruth flipped the script. She spoke directly to the kid, the actual end user. Think about that. This is the same playbook that Nike uses when they put athletes on your screen. The same playbook that Apple used when they put the iPod in the hands of cool people dancing. Speak to the person who wants the thing, not just the person who pays for it. Under Ruth's leadership, Mattel grew from a garage operation into one of the largest toy companies in the world. By the late 1960s, Barbie alone was generating over $500 million annually. From garage scraps to $500 million. Let that sink in. Falling down and rising again, but here's the part of Ruth's story that most people never talk about. In the early 1970s, Mattel hit a serious wall. Financial scandal rocked the company. Ruth and Elliot were accused of securities fraud, falsifying financial reports to mislead investors. In 1978, Ruth was convicted. She was fined and sentenced to community service. It could have been the end of everything. Then, as if that wasn't enough, Ruth was diagnosed with breast cancer. She underwent a mastectomy. And when she went shopping for a prosthetic breast, she was horrified. The options were uncomfortable, unrealistic, and degrading. So Ruth, being Ruth, didn't just complain about the problem. She built the solution. She founded a company called Nearly Me, designing prosthetic breasts that actually fit, felt natural, and restored confidence to women recovering from mastectomies. She went from convicted felon to healthcare innovator. She turned her personal pain into someone else's relief. That's not just resilience. That's character. And it proves something every entrepreneur needs to hear. Your setbacks are not the end of your story. Sometimes, they're the beginning of your greatest chapter. Ruth Handler passed away in 2002 at the age of 85. But her legacy? That's never going out of style. Barbie has sold over $1 billion in more than 150 countries. The 2023 Barbie movie grossed over $1.4 billion at the global box office. And Nearly Me is still helping women rebuild their confidence after cancer. One woman. One idea that everyone rejected. And a refusal to quit, even when life hit back hard. Here's what Ruth Handler's life is really teaching us. You don't need permission to build something great. Your most powerful ideas will face the most resistance. And your lowest moment might be the seed of your biggest comeback. So if you've got an idea that people keep laughing at, good. That's usually a sign you're ahead of your time. If this story hit you the way it hit me, smash that like button and share this video with someone who needs to hear it today. Subscribe to Empire Story, because every week, we break down the real, raw, unfiltered stories of the men and women who built empires from scratch. Drop a comment below. What's the idea you've been sitting on that people told you was crazy? Let's talk about it. See you next week. Clenched fist.